This 135-year-old company, critical to the German war machine in both world wars, has emerged as one of Germany's and NATO's most important defense giants. Scaling to the effects of 1.5 million 155mm artillery shells annually by 2027, constructing 3 plants in Ukraine for ammunition, next-gen defense combat vehicles, and maintenance for Western systems, tracking to triple their order backlog in just 5 years, and skyrocketing in financial markets. This is Rheinmetall.
I have been very, very direct in saying that NATO members must finally contribute.
This may sound infuriating, and more defense spending is still being stressed to this day, but the landscape looks a lot different.
This appears to be the worst case scenario.
Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. Shortly after, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz put forth Zeitenwende, simply a turning point or a new era for German foreign and defense policy. This was backed by a €100 billion special fund for modernizing German armed forces, a number on top of the existing spend, and one that supersedes a constitutional debt break that normally prevents deficit spending. Nearly 4 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, the war continues, brutal, gritty, a slow grind with stalemate moments followed by major attacks. And while it's painful to say, this war has been one of the most profound weapons and technology testing grounds in recent memory. In all of this, there's one particular company worth paying attention to. A German company which traces its roots back as far as Prussia, includes a critical effort with the Third Reich, and saw West Germany join NATO and begin its rearmament. Rheinmetall has seen a complete turnaround in every sense of the word, stepping up to meet German, European, and NATO needs. This new era in Germany's security and defense, arguably a move towards hard power, afforded Rheinmetall a major surge. For Rheinmetall, the order pipeline from Germany is vast. It includes an estimated 3.5 billion euros for Leopard 2 tanks, 12 billion euros to digitalize systems, and 8.5 billion euros for ammunition. That's their largest contract in their history. The numbers are so significant that they essentially make Rheinmetall a strategic state asset. In fact, in March of 2023, Rheinmetall joined the DAX, Germany's benchmark index of 40 blue-chip companies, signifying not just financial and operational performance in the short term, but likely a new norm for security in Germany and Europe more broadly. That is backed up by long-term government contracts. Rheinmetall has rapidly emerged as arguably the single most important industrial partner to Kyiv. It has become the sole defense contractor capable of supplying the Ukrainian military with large amounts of new medium and large caliber ammunition, like 35mm ammunition, which it has delivered in the hundreds of thousands for German-made Leopard self-propelled anti-aircraft guns, a particularly critical munition in downing Shaheds and cruise missiles, Marder infantry fighting vehicles, Leopard tanks, Skynex air defense systems, and mobile field hospitals. What's more, Rheinmetall has established a joint venture with state-owned Ukrainian defense industry JSC that's going to produce artillery ammunition and Lynx infantry fighting vehicles. This is to say technology transfer, just as Iran did for Russia with their Shaheds, as well as an investment and continued partnership. Rheinmetall is also playing the partnerships game incredibly well, helping bring to life US defense production facilities in Europe, as well as combining key software elements. Rheinmetall has put forth multiple announcements with Anduril, the rapidly growing defense technology company, integrating Skymaster with the likes of Anduril software Lattice, sensing hardware like Sentry and Wisp, and finally Anvil, the autonomous interceptor. With Anduril, there's a major strategic initiative to co-develop a suite of software-defined autonomous air systems, bringing European variants of Anduril's Barracuda and Fury into Rheinmetall's Digital Sovereignty Framework Battle Suite. And there's a whole section for exploring solid rocket motors for European use as well. With Lockheed, there is the F-35 fuselage and the GMARS rocket artillery system. Most importantly, pending approval from the respective governments, it seems that there is a Europe-based joint venture between the two companies that would produce rocket motors, ATACMS, HIMARS, M270 launchers, Hellfire, JAGM, and PAC-3 Patriot missiles. Now, I've not seen official press releases from the company, so we'll have to see what develops there. In 2024, Rheinmetall and Leonardo formed a 50-50 joint venture. Leonardo is Italy's largest defense contractor, with revenues approaching 20 billion euros. This partnership will be to develop Italy's main battle tank and the new Lynx platform for the armored infantry combat systems, AICS. AICS involves the procurement of over 1,000 armored combat vehicles. Leonardo CEO had this to say about the joint venture. This is a significant step towards the creation of a European defense system based on specialized shared platforms. And, well, the same arrangement more or less exists with the UK, Rheinmetall BAE Systems, and the US with American Rheinmetall. It's clear this theme on partnerships, joint ventures, open platforms, and, thematically, connected systems exists across NATO, particularly when confronting the war in Ukraine. Rheinmetall seems to be at the center, or at least accelerating the fastest in this area. Rheinmetall is clearly a huge aspect of this new chapter in German defense, one that's moving towards hard power with greater investment and production capabilities. A chapter at least somewhat at odds with decades worth of prevailing sentiment following World War II. Rheinmetall's role in Europe and NATO is not to be doubted either, to the extent that there were reports of an assassination plot against their CEO. In many ways, Rheinmetall is the perfect proxy for security in Europe, a company who has generated so much financial interest that its stock has appreciated in price over 1,500% since Russia invaded Ukraine, and whose order backlog has nearly tripled, expecting to quadruple revenues ambitiously by the end of the decade, that's 2030. And a company that must be playing the game, a game that includes advocacy, lobbying, foreign manufacturing plants, and job creation, becoming such a strategic asset that it just can't fail. Rheinmetall is a century-old story, one that has touched long-gone empires, both world wars, the Iron Curtain, and subsequent fall of it. And there's no question the company has experience reinventing itself, re-emerging. So, what will they write in this chapter? That's all for Rheinmetall. I hope you enjoyed the accents and pronunciation. If you enjoyed the content, please give a like, let me know your thoughts, and definitely subscribe to the channel to be here for the next video. Thanks all, see you in the next one.